welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to review Fall.
Yeah.
The new movie, Fall. This one came out, I think, over the summer in theaters, and it just came out this week on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And we watched it at home. I know a lot of people said this was a movie that needed to be seen in the theaters, but we watched it on our couch, and
Yeah.
I'd say we enjoyed it pretty good.
We didn't make it to the theater, but...
We didn't make it to the theater, but we did make it to the couch to watch Fall on Blu-ray. So... yeah, before we get into it, first off, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We cover movies, new TV shows, entertainment news, all that kind of stuff here on this channel. You will enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button.
Like
and then
the video.
Like the video, like she said. And then comment down below if you saw the movie Fall. What are your thoughts on it? And yeah, let us know in that comment section below. Turn on the bell notifications and all that good stuff. So Fall.
Yeah.
Getting right into it. What were your thoughts on this one? This movie felt like it was hyped up a little bit.
Yeah, so...
Felt like it was hyped up.
I remember hearing about this movie when it was, like, already out.
Yeah.
Like, it was already out. I don't remember.
I felt like it got released and then some buzz started to build.
Right,
Kind of
yeah.
looked generic from the posters. I wasn't too interested in it, but people said it was good. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, so I just remember hearing about it once it was already out. And like you said, there was some buzz going on about it. And I was actually kind of intrigued about it.
Yeah.
I thought that it was probably one of those, like, edge of your seat type of movies, you know, just very
I like a good
like a nail biter.
Yeah, I like a good you know, climbing movie.
Climbing
I mean, I
movie.
think
Are
of
there
movies,
a lot of those?
I think of movies from back in like the 90s or maybe early 2000s, but there's a movie called Vertical Limit where they climb like a snow mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what mountain they climb, but they get stuck up there, something like an avalanche happens. And then, you know, movies like Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. I like that movie. So
Yeah.
I was intrigued by this movie.
Right.
But there's no like big stars in this. You do have Jeffrey Dean Morgan who's in it.
Right.
Who you said you knew from Grey's Anatomy. He's
Yeah.
also on The Walking Dead. I don't really know him from too much else.
He has a
but
pretty small part, though.
it's a pretty small part. You're mainly
Yeah.
with these two girls, Grace Caroline Curry and Virginia Gardner
Mm-hmm.
are their two names. And I don't think I've seen either one of these two young ladies in anything before. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The brunette girl kind of looked familiar, but
Yeah, she did.
I never looked it up to see what she had been in.
She kind of reminded me a little bit of Emma Roberts. A little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just a
don't know.
little bit. Like not all the way looked like her, but just the way her mannerisms and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like overall I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I'd say so.
There were some, you know, kind of corny, cheesy moments. Kind of
The
with
film requires you to suspend your belief quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
And at some points, it's really asking a lot to, you know, believe in these two girls being these adventurous climbers.
Yeah.
They just don't seem like the type.
Yeah, I would
guess.
say like that, but also just with some, I don't know, like dialogue.
Yeah.
Some dialogue was kind of corny, cheesy.
Very melodramatic in parts because
Yeah.
of something that happens in the beginning. I mean, I guess we can go into the premise of it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we start off, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you start off with these two girls. They're climbing a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
A tragedy occurs. I won't get into exactly what that is. And one of the girls basically takes a year off from climbing, and the other girl is trying to get her back into it. And then they decide to climb this radio tower,
Right.
which apparently is like the highest, tallest radio tower in the entire United States. And
Yeah,
it's the
something-
fourth highest structure in the United States, I believe, at
Yeah.
2,000
Something like that.
feet. So, yeah, it's a big, rusty, rickety tower. I have no idea why anybody would want to climb. At least like with a mountain, like you know that's sturdy
Right.
and it's going to be there. But why would anybody
Unless there's
want
an
to-
avalanche.
climb a tower like this? I don't know. It feels extremely stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm talking about. You got to kind of play along with it.
Right, for sure. Yeah, so like you said, there's two girls, and I'll just say the blonde girl.
Yep.
The friend, I guess you would call her, because I feel like the brunette is like the main character, I guess.
Yes, yeah, I would say so.
I mean, you know, they're both the main character, but I feel like the story is about the brunette, kind of, more so. And so anyway, the blonde friend, I don't know. I just kept saying the whole movie, like, this is not a good friend. This is not a smart friend.
No, like, because the blonde's the one that's, you know, she's the brunette's the one that's kind of was at the forefront of this tragedy.
Right.
So she's took the year off, and she's like a shell of her former self. Like she's not ready to do something like this, but her friend's like trying to push her into it.
Well, yeah, the brunette, she is like the more level-headed friend.
I apologize. I don't remember either one of their names in the movie.
Well, it probably says it. Becky and Hunter. That's right. Okay, so Becky is the brunette. Hunter is the blonde friend. And so, yeah, the brunette or Becky, she is like level-headed friend, and Hunter is this kind of just wild, adventurous, just take life by the balls kind of girl.
Yeah, like the stuff that they do is just wacky, wild. It's like, who in their right mind would do any of this?
The whole time, the Hunter, she is basically trying to get Becky to kind of just keep pushing herself and doing these more like ridiculous things.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, there's so many moments where you're like, this is so dumb. Like, why would you do this? But obviously we wouldn't have a movie, so.
Yeah, and they bring, social media into play. She's an influencer. She has like 60,000 followers or something.
Does,
and she's like, there's a sequence where she's like hanging off the top of it and trying to get like a selfie while she's doing it.
Well, I think one thing that bugged us is that, they they have a history of like rock climbing and stuff, but they also don't seem like they're like too physically prepared or even with the stuff that they take with them. Like they just don't seem prepared for this kind of adventure.
Like a backpack over the shoulder. Like there's a point where we were laughing when she's like, they lose the backpack and they have to like perform a daring feat to get it. And she's down there. She just throws the backpack over her shoulders. Like, why don't you put that on both shoulders and secure it a little bit better?
Yeah.
Like, well, what are you doing? She's like throwing it over her shoulders, hanging off, and it's just, I don't know.
And like another thing that really annoyed me.
It's gonna feel like we're shitting on this movie. I'm really not. There's just a lot of stupid things in here, but it was an enjoyable movie. Also.
Yeah. So the Hunter girl, again, I feel like a lot of it is, like I said, focused on her kind of stupidity. But she does this in like Chuck Taylor's.
Yeah.
And
they're not tied, right?
One of her shoelaces is untied. And I'm like the whole time her shoelace is untied. And I'm like, why would you be doing this with untied shoelaces?
But I mean, the girl the brunette or Becky, girl she gets, like you said, they're just not physically fit. Like you have to like train for this type of stuff.
Yes.
Prepare. The girl just literally rolls out of bed after like a year
let's
of
go climb this tower,
binging alcohol.
Yeah,
because she's depressed.
Right,
and she just rolls out of bed and then they're gonna climb a tower.
Yeah,
and it's like, God, like what it asks for a lot from the viewer. But if you can get past all of like logical nonsense, you can enjoy this movie. I think that there are some genuinely thrilling moments in the movie for sure. I do think that the two girls are, charismatic enough to carry the film. I think that they did a good job of carrying the film, even though they do get a little... Like, there's some stuff that I really don't feel like they had to bring into play here. Sure. Just with, like, their past and some of the relationships and stuff like that. Just the melodrama I didn't think was completely necessary.
I feel like kind of a side story was added in just because this is one of those movies where... what do you call it? Where there's like pretty much one location.
It's a one location movie.
Right. And I feel like, and this movie is almost like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. I was just going to say, this is a movie that they could have told this story and tightened it up in about 80 minutes, I think. And they tried to extend it out, add more story in there, more depth, more layers of the characters. I appreciate that, but I don't feel like you need it for this type of movie.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. So I don't know. I just feel like they had that extra like side story as kind of filler and to kind of, I guess, make the stakes a little bit higher.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or
But it's like, God, aren't the stakes high enough? They're like
Yeah.
2,000 feet in the air, and they're basically. I mean, after you get past the initial part where the ladder falls, it's basically they're just stuck up there the whole movie, and they're trying to figure out how to get down.
so yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should maybe talk about some positives a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like I mentioned some
Yeah,
positives.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, like I think I mentioned this earlier. It's definite. Like there were moments where I was like, how are they going to get out of this one? What are they going to do? Like, are they going to make it out? Is one of them going to die? Like, I was definitely invested. Like, I don't think I would be able to just turn it off and not care about what happened. I think I wanted to see it through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that's always
it puts our characters' backs against the wall numerous times, and
Yeah.
you are left wondering, like, how are they going to get out of this? And, there's some moments where they have some moments of intelligence, I guess, when they're trying to figure out how to get out. They come up with some decent ideas, I would think. And, yeah, I mean, I like this movie. I really did.
And then also, it's always kind of fun too, where you as a viewer are kind of wondering what you would do if you were in that situation.
Oh, I mean, I would have died a long
I
time
know,
ago.
right? There were so many times where you were like,
I would have slipped the
just,
first 100 feet.
I know. But you were like, I would just jump off and kill myself at this point.
Well, first off, I would never climb something like
Correct.
that.
Yeah. But
I would maybe climb something 50 feet. I don't know how much higher I would go up as far as like just a ladder.
Yeah.
Like, no.
But I don't know. What would you give this movie?
One thing I wanted to mention real quick, there is a twist that happens about 30 minutes to the finale. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes in. It's not like a huge twist that like changes the whole movie or anything, but it was a nice little twist, I thought. I thought it was a nice little moment.
Yeah. I don't know. I still wasn't like entirely satisfied with the ending, but I don't really know what I wanted to happen though either,
Yeah.
So yeah, but with that,
It was a very basic ending, but I think that the twist definitely made the movie feel a little bit more earned, I guess, because you've kind of felt the stakes of what happened.
Yeah,
a little
I don't
bit
know.
better.
I feel like
Again, it's hard to talk about without completely
Yeah.
spoiling things, but
I feel like that moment probably should have been more like groundbreaking than what it really was. I don't feel like it hit quite as much as they probably would want it to.
but it was surprising. Like, I didn't expect it to happen in the way that it happened. So I can give it credit for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into the score, I would give this, I really enjoyed the movie. I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Is what I would give it for my score.
Yeah, I would do the same.
3.5 out of 5. So yeah, we watched this movie and we watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies in the same day, and we gave both movies the same score. So I guess, yeah, I would recommend this. It is available on Blu-ray right now for $19.99. I will link that down below. It's got some good
not bad.
special features, audio commentary, and it's even got a music video on here. I have never felt more alive.
Oh, wow.
The music video, and then fall the making of. I would be kind of interested to watch the making of this movie just to see, because this is a well shot, directed movie. I don't think we talked about that either. Like, it's a visually cool movie because you get to see like, the vantage point from up there, the ground, and just some of the shots that they get. They really do a good job of conveying the overall like scope.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, if you're afraid of
height.
Yeah, I would say if you're afraid of heights, it might make you kind of a little.
Yeah, I could see seeing this in theaters and being like, oh shit.
Yeah,
like
that's
if it was
what I
like
was
an
gonna
IMAX
say.
or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Is people saying that they recommend seeing it in theater. I can totally see how. Why they would say that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it would have been awesome, but.
Yeah. So they did a good job with just shooting and stuff, just really conveying that height.
Yeah. So there we have it.
Yeah. Good movie. I recommend it. Fall on Blu-ray right now.
I don't think we're going to be climbing any towers anytime soon, though, right?
No. I have trouble climbing up the stairs sometimes, so I'm not climbing any towers or mountains. But appreciate you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this movie, or if you're going to see it based on our recommendation. Turn on the bell notifications. Follow us on our social media accounts, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.